are the notes of the C sharp major scale. The C sharp major scale is our last scale on the sharp side of our circle of fifths, and everything is sharp. So that actually makes it pretty easy to remember which notes are sharp because they're all sharp. If you know your C major scale, then you know the notes of the C sharp major scale. All you got to do is say the notes of the C major scale and just add a sharp to it. So all that means is we're going to start on middle C sharp, go up to high C sharp, and play the following notes: C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, and C sharp. And that's it. Now I know this sounds like a super scary scale to play when everything is sharp. I think that I was super intimidated by learning the scale when I first got to it. But as I practiced it and got to know it a little bit, it actually became one of my favorite scales to play, and it's not that bad. So let me show you what the fingerings are for the C sharp major scale, as well as what the notes on the staff look like. Hey there, it's me from the future, and as I was editing this portion of the video that I filmed last week, I messed up. I taught a fingering that you can use for the scale, but it's not the best one, and my goal is to give you the best possible information, so I'm redoing this part, which is why I'm wearing different clothes, but I want to start at the beginning and teach you the right things. So for our scale, for the C sharp major scale, we're going to start right in the middle of our saxophone with no fingers down. No octave key, none of our fingers are pushing any keys. So it's a really easy start. We're going to go from C sharp to D sharp. So we're going to push our octave key. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 on our left hand, 1, 2, 3 on our right hand, and this pinky key right here at the top. Okay? So C sharp to D sharp. Pretty easy transition. The next note is going to be E sharp, which is just an enharmonic tone for F. So we're going to go D sharp to E sharp or F, but we call it E sharp in this scale. So we pick up these three fingers and it's just like F natural. Now we're going to go to F sharp, and the fingering that we're going to use for the C sharp scale is going to be that fork fingering that I've taught from other sharp scales from before. So our fork fingering is this fork key in the middle here, and we're going to use our ring finger to go from E sharp to F sharp. Now we're going to go to G sharp, so we're going to pick these two fingers up and we're going to use the pinky key here on the low spatula keys. So F sharp with the fork to G sharp. Now we're going to go to A sharp, and you can use the 1 and 2 fingering that I've taught from before, where you have A plus the side key there, but I think it's honestly easier to use the bis fingering. And A sharp is just enharmonic, meaning it's just the same note as B flat, just spelled or called a different name. Spelled differently, called a different name. And when I play the scale, I like to go from G sharp to A sharp with that bis key. And that's a note that you use a lot in your flat scales. Matter of fact, C sharp is the same as the D flat major scale. So however you're thinking about it, this is the best fingering, in my opinion. So G sharp to A sharp. Then we're just going to go to B sharp. Again, another enharmonic tone. All B sharp is C natural. So that's an easy switch there. And you're going to lift up that finger to end on C sharp with that octave key that you have in the back. And that's the top of the scale. So let me go through that one more time from the bottom all the way to the top. We're going to begin with C sharp, all fingers open, nothing being pushed down. We're going to close to D sharp. So use our octave key, 1, 2, 3 left hand, 1, 2, 3 in the right hand, and then the pinky there. We're going to go to E sharp, which just means F. So we're going to pick up those three fingers, and we know what F is at this point. We're going to use F sharp with the fork fingering to go from E sharp to F sharp. Now we're going to go to G sharp, which just means we're going to pick these fingers up and add our G sharp key there. When we go from G sharp to A sharp, again, I recommend that bis fingering right there. So you're just kind of keeping that finger, that index finger on your left hand around that bis key, and you're picking these three fingers up. Then you're going to go to B sharp or C natural. And then you're going to lift that up with no fingers down except for your octave key in the back to end your C sharp major scale. So that's a lot of sharps in that scale, but it's not so bad when you practice it, which is why I've made some practice backing tracks for you to play along with. And if you use those, make sure that you tune so that your notes match as close as possible to mine. If you have found this video helpful at all, you can support my content by subscribing to my channel, liking this video, commenting things down below. I try my best to reach back out to you. All those engagements help me out a bunch, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for checking out this video. If you like this and want to practice your other scales, I have all 12 major scales that I'm going to put on my channel, and you should definitely practice along with those because it helps you become a much better musician. Happy practicing.
Whoa, 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 makes the music with Stoked on Sax.